Hey there Nippon travelers, fingers crossed we can get out and about soon. In today's episode we're going to give you a few tips on how to learn some Japanese before you come to Japan. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow, knit us a hat, send us some cookies, bake us a cake, paint our fences. The first thing that I used to learn Japanese before I came to Japan was Japanese for Dummies. I got it back in 2010. I just landed a job teaching in Japan and I was getting ready to start my new life. For Dummies comes in useful for learning the basics, manners, greetings, common expressions, survival Japanese. You can also find free resources on their website as well as the audio tracks from the book. It's good for the short term, but if you're interested in learning Japanese for a little bit more than just making your way around Japan or showing respect for when you're visiting, then For Dummies is going to fall a little bit short and you're going to want to get yourself a more full-on textbook like the Genki series, which is great for beginners. Tip number 2, Nihongo Sou Matome. I use these for level 2 and level 3 of the Japanese proficiency test. Not proficient in English. These do cover all ranges of the proficiency test, so if you're just a beginner, then you can grab a textbook for number 5, and that would be great for you. It was easy to use and straightforward. There's a series for each of the levels, including vocabulary, reading, listening, grammar, and also kanji as well. The books are set out as one double page each day for 8 weeks with 1 or 2 grammar points or themes for each day. There's a nice illustration, an example, an English translation, and a few questions to test your understanding each day. Personally, I had good success with these books. I used them and passed the test, so I like them. Next, podcasts. I like Japanese Pod 101. It's a great app with lots of very useful, interesting material. It's part of the Innovative Language family. The app you need is Innovative 101 Learn Languages. And once you downloaded it, select Japanese as the language you want to learn or one of the other 34 languages that are available on the app. There's a lot of lessons for all levels, both audio and video. In intermediate session 1 alone, there are 85 lessons of like 20 minutes each. So when I was using this app a few years ago, the story that I was following was about 2 university students who were going on a graduation trip to Okinawa with their dean, as you do. I won't spoil the story, but the vocabulary that I learned I still remember today because it was presented in a very fun and interesting way. For example, chimatsuri and fuhoshinyu, which is bloodbath, and trespassing. But there are also a lot of useful language and useful lessons as well, like introducing yourself and survival phrases and lots of very key grammar as well. You do, however, need a subscription, but you do get a lot of material for your money. The cheapest option I think is about $7 US, and the most expensive is $50 US, both per month. But for the 50 packet, you do get your own Japanese teacher who will lay out a personalized program for you and also give assignments. So if you're interested, check that out. The link is in the description. Next tip is Koto Language Academy. It's a brick and mortar school here in Tokyo. I attended it a few years ago. Great teachers, good content, useful content, but the reason why I want to talk about it today is that they now do online lessons. It's 50 minutes with a native Japanese teacher for 4,200 yen. I'll pop the link in the description so you can check that out. On the page there's a information video from Mika sensei, who was my Japanese teacher when I was a student there at the school. Mika sensei, arigatou gozaimasu. Oh, and one more thing, if you're interested in learning Japanese in Japan, then Koto Academy does do an intensive course, so you can check that out as well. Lastly, exposure. Join a Japanese club, make Japanese friends, watch Japanese TV. When Japanese is around you all the time, you pick it up a lot quicker and you pick up the stuff that you actually need. There was one point when I was working on a Japanese cruise ship for 3.5 months going around the world, and all the passengers were Japanese. Being on the ship, I was thankfully forced to use Japanese all the time, and my skill level did go up very quickly. So when you visit and there's Japanese around you, you're going to learn the words that you actually need to know. You might spend a lot of time learning, asking how to find the train station. You find that when you're here, finding the train station is very easy, but you do pick up words that you didn't know that you needed, like tabehodai, which means all you can eat, and it's a very useful word to pick up, and one I think you'll definitely pick up when you come. So basically, immerse yourself and you'll get better quickly. Join a Japanese club, make Japanese friends, watch Japanese TV. Even if it's with English subs, you'll find yourself recognizing and catching the language that you hear. Okay, that's all from me today. As always, check the description for extra information and links for the stuff that we've talked about today. Please like and subscribe, study hard, and ganbatte kudasai.